right, welcome to another episode of Heated Conversations. Super excited. We have another college on the episode today. We go all the way to Pennsylvania, to Westchester University. We have head coach Barbara Cordova entering her 16th season with the program. She is an alum of Westchester University, and excited to have her on and talk about the program and talk about this upcoming season and what she values in her program and what she expects from her athletes. Welcome, Barbara. How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing really well today. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
It's a beautiful day here today. So,
yes. Is it snowing yet out in Pennsylvania?
Oh, no snow.
Oh,
We've had
good.
really warm weather. It's a little chillier today, but sunny and beautiful.
Oh,
the leaves
good.
are changing. Something I'm not sure you know too much about in Texas, but it's so beautiful.
Yes, in Texas, we don't. It's a little cold. Like yesterday was raining and cold, and it's a little bit cold today. But I know the cold because I'm originally from Minnesota, and so I know it all too well.
It's a lot colder in Minnesota than in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Now, talking about Pennsylvania, where is Westchester located in regards to like major cities that people may really know?
Sure. Yeah, we're about 45 minutes outside of Philadelphia, going west in a community. The community obviously is called Westchester. It's a beautiful suburb. We have a beautiful downtown. It's just a really nice area. And so we're actually, really close to the Delaware border too. I actually live in Delaware, and Delaware is 20 minutes down the road, and then New Jersey is, just right over the bridge, the Commodore Barry Bridge, so like about 40 minutes. So it's really, really nicely centrally located to a lot of great things. Not too far from New York City either, just a couple of hours, and so it's a really great location.
Yeah, so you get a lot of everything.
Yes.
That's good. That's very good. And now you kind of mentioned in the intro that you went to Westchester. Was it because of the atmosphere in the town and kind of the surrounding areas that kind of drew you back to wanting to be a coach of your school that you're an alum of?
Well, I think the thing that drew me back is my love for gymnastics. My love for the sport, my love for Westchester University, specifically gymnastics. We had a great team when I was there, and I just wanted to be able to give back to what I had the opportunity to receive and experience. So that's really what drew me back. Yeah,
no, I love that. I love that. And were you from that area? Like growing up as a young woman, were you from Pennsylvania area or Delaware area? And kind of what was your journey to get to Westchester?
I was actually from New Jersey. I was born and raised in New Jersey, grew up in New Jersey. So Westchester was close, probably 45 minutes from my home. So that was one of the reasons I chose it, because it was not too far away, not too close, but also it had gymnastics. So that was obviously a big draw. I was a gymnast in New Jersey. The club that I went to is no longer around, but I certainly had some very amazing mentors in my life as I was doing gymnastics growing up, and so that was really important. And then, certainly my coach at Westchester is and still is to this day a great mentor of mine and a good friend.
Yeah, oh, that's good. Can you talk a little bit about your club experience? Kind of, what motivated you to kind of pursue collegiate gymnastics, and what kind of things that you learned as a club gymnast? And then when did that light kind of come on that you wanted to be a college gymnastics coach?
Okay, so the gymnasts that I coach today are so much better than I was. I'm pretty old, and so I was a gymnast way back when, before we had even level 10 and all that kind of stuff. It was intermediate, all that different kind of program. So I just love gymnastics. I started doing gymnastics probably around 8 or 9. and just really loved it and just wanted to pursue it. I know the club that I went to was okay, and then the owner of the club owned a different club, like probably about an hour from my house. And so my senior year, I ended up switching maybe my junior year, I ended up switching and going over to that other club. I think once I could drive, and then I could drive myself. And the coach there was just awesome. She was just a wonderful coach and just caring and just pushed us to our abilities and just helped me continue to love the sport, which was great. And then I think going to Westchester, I always wanted to coach. I was a health and phys ed major, but my desire was to be able to coach. So teaching, coaching, that was kind of in my thing. When I was, I think, very young, I had mats and beams set up in my backyard, and I was teaching the neighborhood kids how to do gymnastics. So it's something that's been a part of me for as long as I can remember that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And so when I graduated from college, I moved back to New Jersey, a little further away from home, got a teaching job, but also a coaching job. So I started coaching and teaching right out of college. Never really would have imagined that I would be back at Westchester. I really feel like it's a huge blessing that happened, and just the way the path of my life took opened up that opportunity for me to be back there 16 years ago. So, yeah.
No, that's great. That's great. And where did you begin your college coaching journey?
My college coaching, or I started coaching gymnastics, not at a college, at a club in South Jersey. It's called Blake's Gymnastics. They're still there today. It's in Northfield, New Jersey. The owner of that gym was a college gymnast, and she is a dear friend. And just, that's where I started coaching. Coached there, I think from I'm not going to age myself, but for a long time. I coached there for many years, and that was an awesome experience. And then my husband and I actually moved out to the West Coast for a while. I coached at a club out there, Rancho California Gymnastics, which is closed down, but very close to Sega Gymnastics, which a lot of people are familiar with that gym in California. So actually the owner who owned California Gymnastics started coaching at Sega after he closed down his gym. So was in that area, coached a little while in that area. And then came back here eventually to New Jersey and coached at Atlantic Coast Gymnastics in New Jersey. Okay.
Very good. Very good. And now, was Westchester your first coaching opportunity in college coaching?
Coaching opportunity, yeah.
Awesome. Very, very cool. I think that's always cool to be able to have, diversity, one in where you coach on both coasts, get different cultures, as well as being able to have an opportunity to come back home in regards to where you went to school, and it being your first collegiate opportunity, and for you to stay there and having the opportunity to stay there and continue to help, grow the passion that you have and influence the young ladies that you're influencing.
Yeah, now, it's a blessing to be back and to be, I would have never dreamed it, really, truthfully. So it's really great.
No, I love that. I love that. Now, talking about some of the academic side, you had mentioned that you had a physical education degree, correct? Is that one of the degrees that are known, that Westchester is known for? And what are some other academic degrees that are really popular, or even just kind of what kind of puts Westchester on the map, or really is known for academically?
So back in the day, Westchester was known as a teaching school. So a lot of people that were going into the teaching field, whether it's health and phys ed education or elementary or secondary, it was definitely a school that people went to if they wanted to go into teaching. I would say today we have a variety of majors that it's very well known for, not just education. I think some that really stand out are, we have a lot of biology and science majors, exercise science majors. Today, that is, I feel like, one of the most popular majors. We have the business department is excellent. We've had some really strong students that have majored in business and have gone on to go to graduate school, or, that are in the workforce right now and just have majored in like several business. One of the things at Westchester, when you major in business, you can graduate with a degree in many different areas of business, not just one. I think that's awesome. We do have a brand new engineering program. So we have someone that's majoring in that, our sophomores, and that was a brand new program when she came in. So that's really great. It's biomedical engineering. We've had psychology majors, nutrition majors. I think that for the most part, nursing, our nursing program is very, very good, very, very competitive to get into. They only have about 80 spots that they fill each year.
Oh, wow.
So it's very competitive. But we have had some nursing majors, and we have an excellent nursing program. So I wouldn't just categorize us as just a one thing. I think that there's many different opportunities at Westchester.
No, I love that. I love that. And when recruits are interested, are they coming from different parts of the country, or mostly from that East Coast or the eastern part of the U.S.?
We get athletes from all over the country. I think because there's so few programs out there, that really helps a lot. Certainly, we have a good amount from Pennsylvania. We are a state school, so the tuition for in-state students is very, very reasonable. However, over half of our roster is from out of state. So
Okay.
we get people from certainly New Jersey, certainly this tri-state area, New Jersey, Delaware, Pennsylvania. But we also get people, we have people from Virginia. We have had someone from California. We have someone on our team from Florida. So we have people from all over the place. Like I said, over half of our roster is from out of state. So, and I just think that's because, there's so few programs out there.
Yeah. No, and I think one of the big things is sometimes people may not always know what is out there. And especially if they're located in certain areas, like there's times where people who are located in the West only know about schools that are mostly in the West or, South Central, or unless they're, popular in regards to they get televised. And so sometimes people could have an opportunity if they knew and if they were comfortable with it, moving across the country, somewhere else. And I think, part of this podcast is to be able to show that there is more out there and to be able to display those things. And so people know what options that they have, and be willing to move from Washington to go all the way to Pennsylvania, or moving from Arizona to Pennsylvania, or the Midwest over, and so it just gets diversity in regards to location in a certain program and just popularity. And I think it'll grow the sport overall. And even for those who may think that their career is done based off of the information they know, just because of geographical location, it may not have to be, just because there might be somewhere else that has a place for them and an opportunity for them that they just didn't know about, and hopefully they get to know about, and gives you guys an opportunity to be able to impact their lives for the better.
I think that's great. I think it's awesome that you're doing this, and I think that is true. I think a lot of people don't know. Even we had a recruit come recently. She is from Pennsylvania, and she just never had enough. She, when her and her family came, they were like, "We had no idea what a gem this is here at Westchester." And we're like, "Yeah, we're the hidden secret, that's for sure." Yeah,
no, that's good. Yeah. Well, hopefully it'll be the hidden secret that can be found, and people start to find it a little bit more. What are some fun facts about Westchester, both the university or even the town, that just kind of makes it unique, or even just things that you could talk about that make it, like you mentioned, that hidden gem?
I would say, first of all, the downtown is amazing. It just is. Westchester's not just a college and then that's it. Westchester, the community is just awesome. It's a really good area. It's really beautiful. But the downtown, and I will tell you, the downtown is not like it was when I went to school there. We didn't have this downtown. Now the downtown is beautiful. There's so many nice restaurants and shops. There's people walking around all the time. Very dog friendly, which is awesome. They have outdoor seating for restaurants and lots of nice shops. I think that the town is huge. It's walkable to campus. It's just amazing. I can't go on enough about how amazing that the town is.
Yeah.
I think on campus too, it's just a really beautiful campus. It's a big school, but not a huge school.
Okay.
We have 17,000 students, but it has a feel of a smaller school.
Okay.
You're not walking for miles and miles and miles to get to class or anything. Like everything is pretty walkable as far as going from your dorm to your classes, things like that. Our gym is located a little bit of a ways from the main campus, but there's shuttle buses that run regularly every 10 minutes. We definitely have a parking issue on Westchester campus, I think, which is true of most college campuses. And so even people that are having cars and things like that are using the shuttle to get around campus and from North Campus to South Campus. Most of the things that are located at South Campus where the athletics is athletics, health and phys ed majors, athletic training majors. Those are some of the types of classes that would be down at the South Campus area. But most things are at North Campus.
Very good. Very cool. Well, I think that's good. And class sizes are are they pretty reasonable to where you can contact your professors pretty easily?
Yeah, it's about I would say 1 to 30. For most of the classes, there are some lecture classes that you're going to have that are going to be, 100 or a couple hundred. But even with those ones, a lot of times they're associated with labs. And so then you have a lab that has a smaller amount of people. And so, it's very easy to get in touch with your professors. We have a lot of support on campus, for that too. It's very easy to contact those people. We have something currently at our university in our athletic department called an athletic academic mentoring program that I put all my first year students in. And it's really beneficial. It helps them. They have a mentor that they meet with weekly. It's not a tutor. It's a mentor that kind of helps them navigate college, navigate my classes, navigate, okay, now, I have all this free time. How am I going to, get my work done, study, all those kinds of things. And then that they also report to me, which is super helpful because sometimes if they're struggling, they might tell their mentor, but they might be afraid to tell me. And so, just because that's just kind of the nature sometimes.
Yeah.
And then I'm able to talk with them and kind of say, hey, how can we help you out? We also have tutors that are available on campus. Tutoring is available to all students. And so that's super helpful. So I think there's a lot of things in place to help our students succeed. Yeah.
No, I think that's good. I think that's very valuable information that I think will be important to parents and, prospect athletes who are of age to be able to look into. We're going to start transitioning into the gymnastics portion of it. Currently, who is your other staff that helps you run the program alongside of yourself, and what are their roles in your program?
Sure. I have an assistant coach. Her name is Stephanie Fogger. Her biggest role is just that she coaches alongside of me.
Yeah.
She is part-time. We have a very limited budget at Westchester. We're a Division II school that has 24 sports. It's a state school. And so I'm full-time. She's part-time. We also have a volunteer coach that comes in also that helps us out. But Steph, she coaches with me every single day. We both coach all of the events. She is a primary beam coach and I'm the primary bar coach, but we switch all around. We both do vault and floor, and then sometimes she'll come to bars and sometimes I'll go to beam. So we both have our hand in all 4 events, which is awesome. I think that's really good. I think it's really healthy for the athletes to have a lot of different voices and not just one voice in something. I think sometimes Steph can see something on bars or say something just a little bit different than I would. And I think that helps them to be better athletes down the road. Steph does a lot of volunteering that helps us out too. We do a lot of fundraising at Westchester, and Steph I couldn't do a lot of the fundraising that we do without her help. And she essentially just volunteers her time to do that. She oversees a lot of our social media. The girls on our team, some of the girls on our team do most of the actual work, but she helps oversee it for us. She's also the SID of our conference. So our conference, the Gymnastics East Conference, hires her as our SID. So she's really good at things like that. She is a star, that's for sure.
Yeah. Very cool. Now, you had mentioned conference, and you said Gymnastics East Conference.
Yes, that is our conference.
Love it. And what other universities are part of that conference?
Sure. So the Gymnastics East Conference, we're heading into our third year as a conference. We're a conference that is an independent conference of our schools. And it's made up of 8 schools. The 3 Division II schools that are on the East Coast, so Westchester, University of Bridgeport, and Southern Connecticut State University. And then all the Ivy Leagues that sponsor gymnastics, so that's University of Pennsylvania, Cornell, Brown, and Yale. And then also we have William and Mary in our conference. So those are the 8 schools in our conference. It's a great conference. How our conference is set up, our championship is set up is there's 8 of us. So by our NQS score, we qualify into either the afternoon session or the evening session of our conference championships. So the top 4 would be in the evening session and the bottom 4 would be in the afternoon session.
Okay. And then is the champion of or the places come from either way, so it could go.
The places can come from either session. Yes.
Okay. Very, very good. In regards to like attendance of fans, how many on average on a home meet do you guys get? How many fans?
So we probably get I would say 350 fans at a home competition. We do not compete in a huge arena. Our gym actually is next to another gym, and so we open up to 2 huge gyms. One of our sets of bleachers sits 280, and then we have portable bleachers, 3 sets of portable bleachers. So our place is filled. It's loud and it's filled. But I would say, about 350 people for most of our home competitions. No,
I think the environment is good. Like you said, being able to fill the capacity of what the space that you're in to compete, I think it makes a huge difference. As you mentioned, 280 and you guys have over 300. I think that's good to be able to have, and, great for the athletes and great energy, and, kind of keep it where they're feeling it, right?
It's a lot of fun.
Love it. And do you guys travel outside of those 8 schools to compete? Or do you guys kind of stay within the conference, like do conference duels or conference tries, or quads throughout your season?
So we don't just compete within our conference. We do a lot of competing against any school that's locally, so that helps your budget. So we compete against Temple, that certainly isn't in our conference. That's 45 minutes away. Same thing with Towson, it's about 2 hours away. Ursinus, a Division III school, they're 45 minutes away. We compete against them regularly. Maryland, anything that's kind of close to us, we'll try to compete. Rutgers. So those are some of the, we compete against those 2 schools from the Big Ten. And then certainly the schools in our conference. And then last year we went to Alaska, which was so fun. We fundraised for it. And it's the first time we really fundraised to travel away. And it was such a great experience. We decided to do that again. So this year we're going to Boise State with, that's our fundraise meet this year. So we're excited about that. And like I said, we had so much fun in Alaska, and it was just such a great experience that we decided to try it again this year.
Love it. That's beautiful. And how many athletes do you typically carry on your team on average?
We have 25 girls on our team this year. We had 25 last year. Our max number is 24, but because of the COVID kind of people taking extra years and stuff, our athletic department allowed us to kind of go up that one extra number to kind of figure those things out. So we'll be at 25 again next year, but probably go back to 24. So around 24 or 25 is our roster.
Very nice. Very cool. And being Division II, that means there's scholarships that are split up in different ways because it's not the full allotted 12 scholarships, correct?
Sure. Yeah. So Division II schools can give up to 6 full scholarships divided up. If you're fully funded, we are not a fully funded Division II school.
Okay.
I would say 90% of our athletic scholarships are fundraised money. So we have to maintain that. So currently, I think our scholarship amount is about 3 full divided up. So that's where we are. So we're not like a fully funded Division II school.
Yeah.
There's also some merit opportunities at Westchester also. Not a whole lot of money, but certainly for the higher academic students, there is some merit scholarship available.
Very nice. And then the in-state tuition, that helps a lot in regards to good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
The in-state tuition is very reasonable, and truthfully, out-of-state is reasonable too. It's expensive, of course. College is expensive, but when you compare it to some of the prices of some of private universities, it's certainly more reasonable than that, but still a good chunk of change, of course.
Yeah, no, I think that's good. And for you, kind of what are some of your standards and values that you have for your athletes and your team, and kind of what is your coaching philosophy?
Yeah, so I think my coaching philosophy is there's many different aspects to it, of course, but I think the biggest thing is to have a positive influence on the women I'm fortunate and blessed to coach. I want them to work hard, and I want them to feel good about what they're doing. I want them to love gymnastics, so that's really important. I think one of the benefits of Division II is that it's about life and balance. And so it's not just about gymnastics. You're not just coming here to do gymnastics. We recognize that you're coming here to get a college education. We want to do well in gymnastics. We work really hard at that. But I would say balance is really part of our culture too. Just really having a balance, not just with gymnastics and education, but realizing that we want them to succeed in life, not just, gymnastics is going to be over for most of them after the next 4 years. So we want them to succeed in life. And so just keeping that in mind. I think another big thing is just inclusion, but inclusion in the fact that every person, we have a big roster, there's 25. Everyone's not going to get to compete, but to make sure every athlete on our team feels included and that they matter and that they have a role to play, even if that role might not be up on the equipment. They are valuable. And if we're going to accomplish our goals, we need them to step into some of these places that might not be what they've envisioned, but might be what's really going to help us to get over the next goal that we have.
Yeah, no, that's good. And do you guys have captains that kind of help, with that, kind of work that internally with the team, or do you guys kind of do leadership teams where you guys have, representatives from all the different classes that kind of make up a leadership team? Kind of what is your way of doing that?
Yeah, so we do have a leadership team. It's called the Unity Council. And so the Unity Council is made up of 1 first-year student, 1 sophomore, 1 junior, and 2 seniors. And I will also say that our seniors are certainly strong leaders on our team. We look to our seniors for a lot of things, but then we also want the voices to come from all of our athletes. And sometimes when you're just being led by the seniors or by 2 senior captains, you're never hearing those voices from those underclassmen. And so I think that is really important. And so how that kind of works is we just finished determining who our leadership committee was. This year we just did it. So we wait a while because every girl on our team has to answer a questionnaire that says, okay, this person stands out as this person stands out as this. And they do that for each class. And so they're not necessarily voting, but they're sharing their insight of it. And that just helps us to see, okay, who are some of these people that are going to really step well into these roles? This year, we also did something a little different that I haven't done in the past, but we have done this in the past, but not exactly the same way. So this past summer, I read a book with anyone who was interested in doing a summer reading book with me. But they, in order to be considered for Unity Council, they had to have done the book with us. So just because, I want people to be in those roles who really want to be in those roles. And so that was good. And then we just recently did it. I haven't even told them yet. So, but how it works is that I meet with them weekly. Not weekly, bi-weekly. We have a bi-weekly meeting. Steph and I meet with them after practice. But before they meet with us, they meet with their class. And they have a questionnaire that they fill out with their class. And, how do they think things are going right now? What are some things that we need to work on? Things like that. And then they bring that to the meeting. And then that helps us to really see where everyone is. And then sometimes we have things that we want them to send back to the meeting. Sometimes I'll have a team meeting talking about things. Sometimes we'll just say, go talk to your class about this. So it's just really great. It's been really great for our program. It definitely, I didn't do it all the time. I think it's probably been about 10 years that I've done it. So it's a learning curve at first, figuring out how the best do it. But it's been really good for our program.
Very good. No, I think that's good because I've heard of different ways of doing things, but how you describe kind of the questionnaire and them kind of working, in different, almost having different sets of teams where it's like their class, are kind of working through it, or if it's the whole team that's kind of working through it, or if it's working through it within the leadership team, or, just being able to build them as leaders, one and do it in a systematic way where they're doing it more micro within their class and then making it more of a macro thing, in regards to just the entire program. Because I think that's super relatable to life, because a lot of times it's hard to really feel like we could talk on a macro scale just because we haven't done it so much in a micro, at least in the way where we're super intentional. I think we influence people every single day that we encounter, if it's for the good or if it's for not so good, right? But really thinking about it in an intentional way, saying, hey, I want to make a positive impact on so-and-so or this class, and then be able to transfer that to, hey, I want to make a positive impact on this group, as a whole, to be able to make things better. And then, hopefully when they go out into whatever field or career fields that they want, they can use these tools to be able to do that in those areas and be a positive role member in that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's great.
Yeah.
I also want to just point out that our university also has a lot of great leadership opportunities for our athletes. We have something that's called the Horrocks Leadership Academy. Michael Horrocks was actually a pilot that was killed during 9/11. He was in one of the planes. And so he was a football player at Westchester before, obviously, he was a pilot. And so we named this, he was a great leader on campus. We named this academy after him. And so in this, there's an academy, a leadership academy. There's also emerging leaders. There's also education for captains. They just do a really good job of providing leadership opportunities for students. And our students on our team really benefit and currently benefit and have benefited from the past. And so we definitely take advantage of those opportunities.
No, I love that. No, that's great.
I think the things about Westchester is that we utilize, we don't have a huge budget. And so we don't have like a nutritionist or maybe people that are exactly, hired by the athletic department to do those things for us. But we work in conjunction with the academic departments to get those things done.
Okay.
So, for example, the nutrition department is just great. They're very pro athletics, and they provide fueling stations for our athletes. So we do pay for them out of enhancement funds, but they provide that. That's something they've partnered with us to provide fueling stations. That the chair of the nutrition department, she'll come in and speak with our teams. She'll set up programs if we want it. So we really work in conjunction with the academics to help get some of these jobs done.
Oh, that's good. I think it's good. Good teamwork is very important to really helping any university or program, especially how you mentioned where a lot of it you guys have to fundraise to get those resources. Having as much support as possible makes it a lot smoother. In regards to how you, when you're recruiting a prospect athlete that's of age, what are some of the things that you're looking for, both athletically in their gymnastics, kind of what standard, but also what are you looking for in regards to characteristics about them?
Sure. So as far as gymnastics is concerned, we certainly are looking for those athletes that have those skills that we know that they could compete in the lineup. So we want to, there's a lot of really great athletes out there with great character and all kinds of great things. But at the end of the day, if they don't have the skills that would help them to make a lineup, they probably won't make the lineup. And that's really difficult for them. So we're trying to carefully look at those things first. And some people, still struggle with making the lineup sometimes, because, there's many different things outside of that. That's hard. But so first of all, we look, do they have, so we look at, level 10 skills for the most part, on vault, we're looking at athletes that have a 9.9 start value or 9.95 or 10 start value on the college code. Our goal is to have a lineup of all 9.95 start values or higher. We have not had that yet. Last year was the first year we had a lineup of 9.9 start values or higher vault. So that's our goal. On bars, certainly, and beam and floor, all of those looking for a 10.0 start value. Certainly, I think one of the adjustments sometimes athletes have coming from level 10 is it's 5/10 bonus, and then it's 6/10 bonus. So sometimes they're short a 10th, and helping them to understand, okay, we have 6/10. So yeah, you have a 10.0 start value, but it's not really in college a 10.0 start value. So trying to helping them kind of educate them about that.
Yeah.
So, and then, talking to them also about our, up to level deductions, theirs are different than ours in level 10, and just helping them understand what those are and so what we're looking for. So we're hoping to have 10.0 start values, no up to level deductions, all of those things. I think the biggest, really hardest event that I find sometimes is floor, just because the rules are so different and there's some values that are different. Like, for example, the front pike is a B in level 10 and it's an A in college. So that makes a difference in, if they're using a front pike for something, we have a new rule that was in place last year. They have to have a C in every single pass, and they don't have to have that in level 10. So, most people do, but if they don't, they're still getting by with that. So just kind of helping them to understand, the differences and that. So that's the gymnastics piece of it. I think the number one thing for us outside of that is that they're a team player. College gymnastics is not an individual sport. Yes, you're going to be up on that equipment by yourself, but it is definitely a team sport, and our school definitely embraces the team aspect of that. It's very important to us. And so making sure that they understand that it's about the team and not really about any individual. And that is a huge transition from the developmental program to a college program, because, in the end of the day, when you're in the developmental program, you pay your money. If your coach is saying you have these skills, you go into your meets, and in the end of the day, it's about you. But in college, it's not really about you. It's about the whole team. And so that's, you could be the best athlete on the team, and yeah, we're going to celebrate you. But in the end, if you did your part and everyone else didn't, and we still lose the meet, it doesn't matter that much, and so, and then the other way too, you might not make the lineup, or you might be injured. How are you going to step up to be a part of this team and make a valuable impact on our team? Because I have had athletes who have not been starters, who have had very little playing opportunities, and have had huge impact on our team, and really helping us to reach our goals. And so that is another thing we talk to recruits about. Like, what do you bring to the table? Are you willing to handle and no one really knows that right until it happens. Yeah. But at least getting that in their mind, helping them to understand that there's more to this than gymnastics.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's great. I think it's very good. To kind of wrap it up, what are some things that you want to leave with the listeners, with the viewers about West Chester University and the gymnastics program?
would say that, like I said, Westchester is a hidden gem. It's a beautiful university, has lots of opportunities. I think our gymnastics program, we're a really united group. We really care about one another. I think that's super important. We love the sport, we love each other, and we're very competitive. I'm very competitive. My athletes always laugh at me because, we'll do different games sometimes and I'm always wanting to win,
Yeah.
So I'm super competitive, but at the end of the day, I also recognize that this is just gymnastics and there's other really important things in life. And so I think the main thing is that Westchester is a great place to pursue your love for gymnastics, but also be recognized as a person and who is pursuing other dreams, maybe that don't include gymnastics.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Barb. I appreciate your time coming on and talking about your university, especially a university that's really close to you, being an alum of the university and being there going into your 16th season. Best of luck to you and your...
Thanks. We're super excited this season.
Yeah.
We have some big goals, so we're excited.
Love it. Love it. Tune in to Westchester and follow their journey. And if you're interested, I'll put their information below so you can get in contact with them. I encourage, if you're on the East Coast, not only the East Coast, but if you're on the West Coast or in the Midwest or in the South or even just Central, the U.S., to kind of give them a look. I think it's super important to be able to know and to see what all your options are if you want to continue your gymnastics career, but also to look at different areas that you could continue your education that may give you a different experience, and to be able to travel the country or even get an opportunity to travel the world because of where you choose to go, and not always to limit yourself to what you may already know, but look outside of your so-called walls that is central to you. Well, I appreciate everybody for tuning in to another episode of Heated Conversations. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and leave comments. Excited for the next episode. Have a great one.